If there was an award for a perfect smartphone, I would give it to the Samsung Galaxy S21 ULTRA Snapdragon variant. And if you ask me why, I would say all the things that is coming with this smartphone, from the build to the display to the camera and even the performance, it has almost no issues. And that starts from unboxing. As you all know, after Apple removing the charger from the box, everyone is doing the same. Although it's coming with a USB-C cable, what I'm mostly excited for is the matte black color of this phone. I have seen it in the launch event and reviewers reviewing it, but when I saw it for the first time, it did not feel special to me. I was just thinking, oh, it's just another regular black smartphone. As I continued using this smartphone, I realized that no, this is something special. You know, we all have something black around us, but this one is the most non-reflective materials I have ever seen, which make it the best matte black smartphone that catches a very few fingerprints. Even the curved aluminum frame doesn't catch a fingerprint as much while using it, which also helps handling this 227-gram smartphone. Truly, at first I was having hard time using this giant footprint smartphone, but thanks to engineering team for excellent weight distribution that made me accustomed to use it further. Although I really appreciate how Samsung uses this space to fit a 5000 mAh giant battery that is essential to run this beautiful 6.8-inch Quad HD Plus 120Hz refresh rate Super AMOLED display. As always, I set the display profile to vivid, and for the first time I could use 120Hz refresh rate with maximum resolution. Of course, I have used the same settings at Xiaomi Mi 11. I could distinguish that the Samsung panel is a bit better, not only because the Samsung panel has a better image quality, but also it drains a lot less battery using adaptive refresh rate. That means when you are using your UI or other thing, when it is using 120Hz refresh rate, but when you are not using those kind of stuffs, like watching videos on YouTube, it keeps its frame rates up to 30 or even 60 Hz. That means it drains a lot less battery even than the Xiaomi Mi 11. So definitely Samsung is doing a smart thing here, but I can definitely say that the Xiaomi Mi 11 with its 480 Hz touch sampling rate, that felt smoother, but Samsung is more efficient in that way. I know this slight improvement doesn't make that much of a difference, but I could actually spot it, especially in gaming. Though I'm not much into gaming, I could play PUBG in HDR graphics and extreme frame rate and got almost no issues whatsoever. Although other Snapdragon 888 phones can play PUBG up to Ultra HD settings, Samsung Galaxy S21 ULTRA cannot. This might be a software issue that can be solved via an update. Besides PUBG, I played Asphalt 9 and Call of Duty, and both of them were great. Especially Call of Duty experience was so smooth that it made me almost addicted to it. And while gaming, this phone definitely gets hotter, but what is the best thing here is that this phone doesn't throttle. You will see no lag, no kind of frame drop in your gaming, so that is a good sign that even though this smartphone gets a lot hotter, it does not affect on the performance. That's a very good sign. Even if you run the stress test, I have run the stress test, and the performance was evenly consistent. The temperature of the smartphone was getting hotter, but the stress test performance was on the top notch. And I can definitely say the reason behind is the Snapdragon 888 processor. That is a very powerful processor which may get hotter but does not affect on the performance. But one thing I have noticed in this particular Samsung Galaxy S21 ULTRA, that in Antutu benchmarking score it almost got around 600k scores. But in other reviewers like USA or UK reviewers, I have seen that their smartphone getting 680k, 690k, even closer to 700k performance in Antutu benchmarking. But my particular device, I have got only 608k. So that was very disappointing. So I decided to run the Geekbench score, and that was also frustrating because I was getting around 910, 920, that kind of scores, which is which I did not actually expect from the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. I did expect it from the Xiaomi Mi 11, but did not expect it from the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. So I thought this may be for the software issues. So then a software update came into the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra and I installed it, and then the things got even worse, as you can see in the various benchmarking tests. However, what I really appreciate about this smartphone, even though this did not perform that much in the Geekbench or any other benchmarking scores, but this phone was doing a very good job in real life performance. I really like that this phone is coming with Android 11 out of the box, and Samsung confirmed 3 years future update with their One UI. To be honest, I like this UI so much that I can undoubtedly say that this is even better than the Pixel or OnePlus's Oxygen OS. That is just my personal preferences. And the reason behind is not just the smooth and lag-free experience, but the integration that is coming with this new UI. For example, you can use the Smart Share to mirror the smartphone to your TV and make video calls or even play games on your TV. Although the mirror resolution is just 720 pixel and you are forced to stop it when the phone overheats. I hope Samsung can fix it by a software update. Besides screen mirroring, Samsung DeX is also useful, as you can use both the smartphone and TV at the same time, as Samsung DeX just use your phone resources and Wi-Fi. Now the biggest complaint about Android is it's not well integrated with other devices. So that's why Samsung and Microsoft made a partnership a few years ago, and they made a very good app called as Your Phone app. So that is supported by the Samsung smartphone and the Microsoft, though it is working with all other devices, but it works well with Samsung devices. So you just have to press on the link to Windows button and install Your Phone app in your PC. And now you can have a tight integration with your smartphone and PC. This does not allow only you to make phone calls or receive calls from your PC, but also you can transfer the files from your PC to smartphone and vice versa. That is so impressive. That was the most awaited features from Android. So this is not a complaint anymore in Android and Windows ecosystem, that you can share files easily, make calls from your PC or your smartphone. That is not a feature now. But what I was mostly excited for is now you can open apps that are installed on your smartphone directly from your PC. So you do not have to bring your smartphone again and again just to open your Facebook or Messenger or Instagram or Twitter or even the camera app. You can just do everything from your smartphone. It is just like a BlueStacks installed on your PC, but that is not a regular BlueStacks, it is actually your Samsung smartphone. How cool is that? So overall, I can say Samsung is getting more integrated with other devices and their UI is just getting better. So Samsung experience is just getting better and better day by day. Now let's talk about the cameras. This is the time for cameras. I actually like the varieties of camera of Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. You can capture ultra wide angles photos or any regular, or you can go up to 100 times zoom from this to this. Look at this shot. This is something that your eyes cannot see, but this camera can. You can use it literally like a telescope. In this year, Samsung have improved their color profile in each lenses as well as consistent quality. You will get almost equal amount of quality from either of the lenses. Although you will get some distortion and chromatic aberration on the side, I definitely like the colors and dynamic range of the photos. They are all naturals and eye-catchy. Now for portrait, it does a good job but not the best. As you can see in this image, it doesn't have much details as regular shots, and the entire field of view is a bit wider than my taste. This is because even though Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra has 3 times optical zoom lenses, it captures portraits with only the regular one. Here's the 3x photos and 2x portraits. Look how beautifully compressed the images are on 3x lenses. So officially, you cannot take portraits using official Samsung camera, but you can install Google camera and take portraits using 3x zoom lenses. But as the 3x zoom lens has a narrower aperture of 4.9, that means you can get a lot of grains even in daylight that you can see in these images. So these images have a lot of grains. Maybe that's why Samsung is not going to use these lenses for portraits. For selfies, this phone uses its 40 megapixel shooter that has an extremely good dynamic range and details. Skin tones look natural to me, but I did expect it to boost up the brightness of the subject a little bit. If you look at the pictures, you will see a natural background blur is happening as the sensor size is bigger. Now, if you turn on portrait, you will see the background blur is natural with accurate color and extremely good dynamic range. Even the details on my face is noticeably sharper. So for selfie camera, it has done a very good job. Now moving on to the video, if you look at the 8K videos, I would say one thing here is eye-catchy, and that is color. I don't know what Samsung is doing here, but from the color of the leaves to the skin tones and everything looks beautiful to my eyes. Other than that, the dynamic range and the stabilization seems good too. But while shooting in 8K, this crops in a lot from the 108 megapixel sensors. That is why you can see some grains even in the daylight. Maybe you are not watching it in the YouTube as YouTube is compressing those noises, but I can definitely see that in 8K resolution it has a bit more noise that maybe a lot of people do not like. So I would suggest you to shoot in 4K 60 or 4K 30 FPS so that you can get a lesser amount of noise and beautiful colors with better stability. Now moving on to the low light photography, I was amazed about the quality of this smartphone. This can see every details from every corners of the photos, and there was almost no grains whatsoever in this smartphone. I was really amazed at the quality of these photos. Just look at the skins, look at the leaves here, look at the corners here. Everything looks sharper, well detailed and bright overall. And the night quality remains consistent in every lenses. Like look at this ultra wide angle shots. It was almost a very dark situation, but you can see everything here. Even you can zoom in a little bit and see almost no distortion, no details lost in these images. I really like the night mode photos in this smartphone. So you might be thinking that this phone takes 4 to 5 seconds to process a low light photography. That's why these photos are coming out great. What about videos? Maybe in videos this won't do that great. But trust me, in low light videography, this was doing a great job. This could see that much details that my eyes could not even see. Like look at these situations, the space here is totally pitch dark. My eyes could not even see the details here that you are watching here. So I can definitely say that in low light, this camera, particularly in video, is doing a very good job. But the selfie quality in low lights is not the best in class, I would say, but it is doing a great job. It is doing a fair great job. But I think still the iPhone or Pixel, especially the Pixel, is doing better in low light for my preferences. As you can see, these images are kind of soft, a little bit grainy. Personally, I think that this could be a bit better. But if I talk about the overall camera experience, I was totally amazed, and I can definitely say this is the smartphone that you should buy just for cameras, just for photographies, videographies. Everything is doing a much better job in Samsung Galaxy S21 ULTRA. Definitely it does not do the best in every scenario, but it is a very reliable camera. Now, as I'm in the last part of this video, I want to point out something that you should know. First of all, the camera bump is so huge. If you take this smartphone and put it into the table, it wobbles a lot. Secondly, it does not have a SD card slot that Samsung removed. I really do not like that. Plus, the earpiece here is not the best in terms of quality. I think iPhone is still doing better in quality overall network receptions, but Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra is also doing a better job. Plus, these have the IP68 rating. That means you can put it in the water and do whatsoever. It does not affect on your usage. And most importantly, this phone can last up to 1 day without any issues whatsoever. So overall, I think I love the design of this smartphone. I love the display of this smartphone. I love the batteries of this smartphone. I love the cameras of this smartphones. There is everything that I like about this smartphone. There are very few things that I think this could be improved, but if you ask me, should I buy this smartphone, should I use it as my daily driver, even comparing the iPhones, I would say yes. I would prefer the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra over the iPhone, considering the features it is offering at this price point. So if you like this video, please do consider subscribing in this channel and do like this video. So for today, tata bye bye, দেখা হবে পরের কোনো ভিডিও।